People are not going to change for us. They're going to change when they're ready to change. And so waiting for them to change or trying to change them is just a non-starter. Now, another dimension I'd like to look at when we start talking about interactions is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. And in the MBTI, there's 4 different subtypes. There's the extrovert and the introvert, so it's pretty straightforward. Now, you can look at it from the standpoint of extroverts are more outgoing, but as I said, to really determine if a person's an extrovert, you're better off looking at how they recharge. Again, I mean, this is not a deep psychological dive, but it's a quicker way to say that person recharges. They always want to go out. They want to go to the next happy hour, whereas the introvert, that person recharges by being alone. It's like, man, I'm glad that thing got canceled. And then the other one is the N and the S. So the N is the intuitor, the S is the sensor. I'll come back to those. And then we have the thinker and the feeler. And again, it's descriptive. The thinker is going to be more analytical. The feeler is going to think about the people. So you can kind of see the thinker and the relator from the other one. It goes deeper than that. And then we have the judger and the perceiver. And you can go online and look for MBTI abbreviated version or MBTI light. It changes who's offering it. This is an engagement that you pay for, and you get a facilitator that goes through it with you with the team. I like doing this. As I do recommend owners, team leaders, you go through this with your leadership team. It opens some eyes, and it also helps you decide where to assign projects. It helps you decide who your next person should be, because you don't want all of the same types. You want a good mix, and that's one of the big benefits. But what I want to talk about is the N. The N likes the big picture first. It doesn't mean they can't look at the detail. And the S likes the details first. They like the concrete. The N likes the abstract, conceptual. The reason I'm calling these 2 out is because the N and the S, and you'll hear this if you go through the facilitated sessions with Myers-Briggs. I used to take all my teams through it. I would go through it with my team leaders, I should say. Anytime I got a new team, which was about every 2 years, I would go through the Myers-Briggs with my team leads or my direct reports. And so I've been through it multiple times. And every time we went through it, this is one of the things that they bring out, but they facilitate an exercise. And in that exercise, they put all the N's together and all the S's together. And it's very, very clear how we approach things differently. The N's are eager to adjust things, make adjustments, and the S's are more stay the course. The next one I want to look at is what's often called coping with difficult people. And I'm going to go to some slides for that one. So we're going to go through it fairly quickly. I'll have you take some screenshots of slides. All right, so the setup for the next few slides, and again, I encourage you to take some screenshots, but I would like you to think about that person. So maybe in what we've already talked about, you've noticed that the source of friction may have been the caddy corner on the 4 styles. Or maybe what you've noticed is that some of that friction is that as you might be an N and you come in with the big picture first and wanting to talk about concepts, whereas they might be an S and they want the detail first. So that one is fairly easy. You want to make sure you have a mix of detail and big picture in general. But if you know you're talking to an S, you want to start with the detail. If you're an S talking to an N, you want to start with the big picture. You're going to have to do both, but it's what they want first to make sense of it. Sometimes you're presenting, if you're dealing with investors, you might be presenting and you notice people getting antsy and fidgety. They want you to move along. A lot of times it's a mismatch between the N and the S, so you can solve that. So now what we're going to do is take a look at the next, and in the next few slides, I want you to think about a person, that same person if we haven't resolved it already, or if we have, think about a different person that you may be experiencing some difficulty with, and there's some opportunities to make adjustments.